Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Railway Empire Crossing the Andes Coffee Barons here on the PS4. And after a little bit of desperation and frustration in the last episode, I've taken some time away, cleared my head, and we're kind of trying to restart that momentum that we'd built up. So I've just redeveloped a few things here. I've expanded the station here at Montes Claros to add in some extra platforms so we can try and get trains moving a bit quicker. I've also slightly extended the siding here, sort of doubled its length there. I need to rework this section here, but I still have issues with trains getting in each other's way, as you can see. So this line here was actually connecting in to this line here, and so a lot of trains are all stacking onto that one platform. By expanding the station, it means I can now free up this platform here. It also means I can perhaps redevelop this section over here to get some of these trains moving a little bit faster. And it also will help free up trains coming in on this side as well. So what I could do is I could simply just drop that line down onto this third platform here, this third line, and then that frees up these top two for trains coming in the opposite direction. And that way, all four platforms will be in regular use as opposed to just two platforms and lots of trains all trying to squash into them. So let's build that bit there. I need to re-signal this now. So I need a stop there and a directional on the other side. Okay, so that should get the trains moving again. You can see our money's gone up a bit because I've just been, as I say, I've been running this for a couple of minutes just to let the money go up, to give us a few options. We kind of need to pay off one of our debts, one of our bonds, and we need well over 3 million to be able to do that. So
it's probably just another one of
I'm
your
buying
little
these
mistakes,
simply so that
could it be that you just placed a bid?
even though we don't technically kind of need them, it frees up the possibility of actually gaining access to something that we do want, so that when we have points of our own to spend, we can go ahead and drop those straight into the right area rather than having to spend them to unlock an area that we don't necessarily want to get to an area that we do want, if that makes sense. So, trains are running again. I need to take out this stretch here. Oh, Montes Claros has grown. Excellent. So, I need... there's nothing I can do in here because I forgot Roger Smythe went ahead and dropped in that third business, didn't he? I'm looking around, looking at our objectives. We need to buy Roger Smythe's company by 1915. We're working on that. We need to transport 200 loads of chocolate. That's progressing quite nicely. We also need to transport 100 loads of toys, and at the moment we haven't made a single bit of progress on that because we need steel, and we don't have access to all the materials we need for steel yet. We have coal, we have one single point of access for coal, but we don't have access to iron. So the nearest easy one to get to is up in Roger Smythe's territory. So the plan is, if we can buy Roger Smythe's territory, we can then ship coal over towards where the iron is and maybe set up a steel mill in one of these areas, and then have a toy factory in one of the other cities, and try and just squash everything together. And I'm not sure whether I want to just delete everything that he's built, or start, or just, take out sections and rebuild certain sections. I haven't quite decided how to do that yet. We should hopefully have a little bit enough now to maybe buy off one of our bonds. Yes, we do. But not enough to pay off the penalty as well. Okay, let's take a stoker. It's always good to have a little bit of extra staff. Let's throw a saboteur at Roger Smythe. Let's check what we want to sabotage, actually. What's going to have the biggest impact? What's his busiest? Lima's going to be busy, so let's sabotage Lima Station. And at the very least, that'll bring his value down a little bit. on his shares. Let's go back over to our rail lines over here. We're sprawling out so much now, it's kind of hard to remember or keep track of exactly where I need to be. There we go, Montes Claros. So it's this bit here. That's what I need to fix. So let's take out that little bit of track there. And that little bit of track there. And now let's connect that all the way up. Because we're not getting enough meat into, or enough cattle to fuel our meat business. So we need to really increase the number of cattle trains going in to Montes Claros. Let's drop another. Actually, let's space that a little bit better. Let's drop it about there. And change that to a stop. Okay. Now I did have to delete one of my cattle trains. In fact, actually, I was wondering whether or not to, yeah, let's upgrade this as well. We put a second line in there like that. Take the track out there. Bring that onto that platform. There we go. So that's one less platform that's going, or one less set of trains going in on that one line there. That'll help speed things up a bit. I do want to clone this train. I had to take one of the trains out to be able to do what I wanted to do. And then, so that's putting the first one of those back in, and I've just added an extra one or two in there as well. Okay, so that's sabotage Roger Smythe. We could try and work on this oil down here, but it's such a long journey to the nearest source of oil. I can't remember where it is now, but it's there. There it is. It's a long route to get that oil all the way down. Oh, hang on. We've got a toy factory here, haven't we? In Rio. So we just need the steel. So if we have got somewhere where it's along again, trying to get steel into there. It's one of those nightmare journeys trying to figure out how to get steel all the way down there. It'd be better if we could to put a steel factory in somewhere closer. So I'm thinking maybe here in Piranha, if we can get the population high enough, we can get steel into there. And this is why I wanted to increase the number of trains, specifically the number of where's my... I thought I had a double bit in there. Nope. Specifically the number of meat trains between these areas, because it'll increase the city's growth. And once we get it high enough, we can put in a steel mill there, and we'll already have the coal coming in from here. So then we can potentially just run a single station all the way up to the ironworks up here and get a head start on making some steel. Just a straight line all the way up there, and then just bring that all the way down. And then we could maybe look at growing one of these surrounding towns in the nearby area. Maybe even Coiba, just there, if that's how it's pronounced, Coiba. We could look at maybe growing that town, getting it high enough for a demand for toys, or potentially just taking out one of the businesses that we have in here, or trying to buy out Roger Smythe's paper mill, demolish that, and put in a toy factory there. So we have a few options in that respect, but I want to make sure that I've got a good supply route between the two areas, which at the moment we don't. Too many gaps. That's in use. So I need a signal. Because that train's pulled onto that bit there. So let's put a sort of a train length signal block there. Run that all the way along there. I'm just looking to, as I say, improve the connections that we have between our towns a little bit. So now I should be able to take that out. Yes, there we go. Reconnect that. Alright, so now we have a nice long connected route across there. It needs to be re-signaled. So we'll do that now. Take that signal out there. All looking good so far. All through here. Change that to a stop signal. Like so. And the directional there. Okay. Still getting bits of my shares bought up, which is frustrating. Now let's try and buy out one of my bonds. There we go. I can afford to pay this one off now. So I can get 4 million on this one. We'll use that to now pay off the other one. There we go. And now we'll take out that one again. That gives us 5 million. So hopefully we can make a nice little investment in Roger Smythe's company here. And buy another 14% of his company. Just looking at his share prices at the moment. Are they on the rebound? They're going down still. Oh, go away. Go away, auction. Not interested. It's starting to go back up in price again. This is always a tough one, trying to decide how long you wait when a share is fluctuating. Do you wait that little bit too long? As soon as it shoots back up, do you panic and buy straight away? Or do you wait like I've just done and hope it drops back down again? He should still be under sabotage, I think. Move all the way back up towards Lima. Is Lima no longer... no, Lima is no longer... No, there we go, yes. It's still sabotaged, so it's still damaging his potential income a little bit. $15 is going to cost me 5.2 million. What are we up to? 54. What about 16? 5.6. Let's try and get 16%. Go on, dip a little bit lower, please. There we go. Alright, so we're up to 70% of his company now. We are making serious headway there, which is good. We need to get him out of the picture as quickly as possible. And also, once we take him out, we will gain ownership of everything he owns, which includes the factory that he snuck in somewhere. Oh, hello. We have... Now this makes things interesting. We have the option here to put in a steel mill, and that gives us a route. Yeah, okay, now this has just simplified things for us a little bit. So we can throw in a steel mill just here. Need 400 grand for a steel industry. I should be able to raise 400 grand pretty quickly. Once we've done that, we'll be expanding the station, and we'll rework the lines coming in here a little bit. Hell, I could even create a separate station just for the coal. And we can ferry coal in here, we can ferry iron in here, create the steel, and then ship that across here to Rio to create the toys. As long as they're getting wood as well, which they should be able to, then that'll keep all that nice and hunky-dory. Right, put that steel mill in here. Let's see. Let's plonk the steel industry. Oh, where do I want to plonk the steel industry? Let's put it there. Okay, so the steel mill is in. We do currently have a route here from Smith Farm. And we have an external line here, look, which isn't being utilised. So we could bring that around here in a direct route to a secondary station here. Might seriously think about that as an option. We do have some staff available. What have we got? Another stoker. I should probably allocate these to trains. Alright, let's try and find an area where train... Actually, if we've got a speed boost, we're going to want that here on this iron connection. So let's build... which is mine's buying more of my company. I've got to stop letting that worry me and bother me. It's not a major issue anymore. We just need a small station here. Doesn't need to be a big one.
Shouldn't you also leave a bit of room for more efficient rail systems?
We just need to bring this all the way down. See how long a route it is, look. It's a very, very long route indeed. Very long. Yeah, we definitely need to tidy some of this this area up in terms of routes in and out, because it's just a bit of a hodgepodge mess at the moment. So let's clear that off for a second. Let's take a look at what we've got down here, because this is definitely going to need to improve, I think. Speed up traffic flow through here. There's our steel mill. We have an empty platform here that's not being used. And that we can route out that way. Okay, so let's do that instead. Let's bring this platform out first of all. We'll run parallel here so that we can use that water tower there. We'll run across here like that so we can parallel the bridge. It's a bit of a long, messy route actually. My passing loops on this side of the bridge are on the wrong side. Yeah, that passing loop there should be on the other side. That's annoying. Okay, well, can we work around that? Not really, not without removing it, so I'm going to need to let time run through for a second. Get the train out of the passing loop. Okay, there we go. Into demolish. Need to take that whole section out there. Excellent stuff. Build that along to there. Link that one up. What about over here? Yeah, I need that to be in one space like that. That's okay. Can I sneak in another extension to the passing loop? Okay, I will not be beaten by this challenge. We will complete this. So that needs to be like that. That needs to be that way. I've got a signal issue somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's from where we switched the old one across. Take that signal out entirely. And that one. Flip that and make it a direction. Put a stop there. Another signal there. That needs to come out. So there's that one for now. Okay, so we've got our end pieces in there. Let's put all the middle bits in, like so. There we go. I could probably do with putting a supply tower in here as well somewhere, just to be on the safe side. Let's drop one there. That's now much, much cleaner and tidier for us. So now we can go back to bringing that line out this way. Run this along this way like this. This is where it's going to get iffy. So this wants to come out this way, kind of join up along here. Ah, I've got to take a diversion around. Ah, okay. So again, let me go back to demolish. Let me look at what I can do. I can expand this station here. There we go. Go back to rail line. If I take that piece of track out, and that piece of track out, that's in use now. That's because I just deleted that signal. Right, let's plonk a signal there. There we go. Clear off my plans for a second. I can now bring that in on that line, like that. Nothing using this line here at the moment. It's just going to delete the whole line and rebuild it. So this is going to use that platform there. This one is going to use that platform there. There we go. Just in case, I'm also going to put in a diamond piece just here. Trying to reroute my trains a little bit. There we go. So again, we've got two platforms in use there, two platforms in use here. That should keep trains running nice and smoothly and fastly. I'll put another crossing in just here again, just in case. It almost certainly won't be needed, but it's better to have it than not have it, I think. There we go. And now this can now run along here without any issues. This is going to be our new line that runs this way. It doesn't like that bit there because of that corner. That's okay, we can get around that. With a little bit of careful reworking, we can resolve that issue. By basically just stretching the track out a little bit, like that. There we go. Problem solved. So that line's going to cost me 295,000. I can live with that. That's not too bad at all. So we just need to let a little bit of cash flow in. Let's check in on our train over here. How's that doing? That's not too bad. We have a look here. Now see that our meat trains are running a bit more fluidly. They're not all stacking at just one end of the line. And we should be hopefully producing a little bit more meat now. Yeah, there we go. Last time I checked this, I had 0 cows in there. Now we've got 20, so we are starting to produce more meat. And the more we can supply in there, the better that will be. And hopefully we can ship some out here towards Piranha as well. Maybe put a toy factory in Piranha so that we can ship steel in 2 different directions from Porto Segura here, out towards Rio and out towards Piranha over there. We still have plenty of time to complete these challenges. We're not in any immediate rush, as you can see. We've got until the end of 1915, so we've got a little over 5 years left to complete this challenge. As you know, a little over 6 years left. We're on the way with chocolate. We've got a couple of different cities producing chocolate and transporting that. We could shortcut that by just delivering it. All we've got to do is transport it. It doesn't say where to. Doesn't say that it has to go to another city. We could dump it into a warehouse if we wanted to, but I'd rather make the money on it. So, seeing as there's no rush, we'll just keep letting that chocolate go from city to city where it's needed, and we'll actually generate money rather than sticking in a warehouse where it won't. And we need to buy Beatrix out as well. We've got more time to do that. It's kind of frustrating that it's the way round it is, because her company's actually worth more. Sorry, her company's worth less than Roger's. Roger's company's worth more, so it's more expensive to buy out. Oh, she switched value. That's because, I think, because we sabotaged him. So we own 70% of his company. We're getting there. We are making strong progress. I can't believe we've got 116 trains running on our network.
Let me show you how it's done.
That's a lot. That's a lot of trains. Alright, I've got enough money to build that line now, so let's build it. There we go. And now, of course, I can put my passing lines on the opposite side. Like so. And we can avoid any major issues. I'm going to be needing to run a lot of trains through this section here, just to make sure that I am getting the materials in that I need. And the fact that I'm now stopping in a wood station as well is important. Okay, where have I messed up on this? Oh, yeah. I know where I messed up. Okay, so I need to put a stop in here. Take that out, and on there, take that out. Clear planning. I've got to do this all over again. This needs to go in on that platform, like that. That needs to come to there. In fact, actually, let's move it back a little bit if I can, so I can put in another diamond at the start to connect the 2 lines together, just in case. There we go. that is going to be my new line, just there. And then let's see if I can connect them together. Oops. There we go. Right, that's better. So, let's... Have I screwed that up again? I think I might have actually screwed that up a bit. This is the passing line. This is the secondary line here. So I'm building the passing line. Yeah, I did just mess that up, I think. Ah, it's so easy to confuse myself when I've got all these lines and I haven't played on this for a little while. It's been about a week or so. Well, no, nearly 2 weeks since I last recorded on this series. So... yeah, I did screw up when I made those changes, so let's end planning there. Build that. I was right the first way before I started messing around with it again. I think. Yeah, so this is just a single line and it has a passing loop going above it in places. So this single line wants its own platform. And now it's merging. Yeah, so yeah, I did screw up. Okay, let's take... let's just get rid of that for a second. Let's take that piece out. Take that out. I can leave that there like that though. That works. So that wants to go to there. Okay. This wants to go to there. And then the passing line that I'm building wants to go in on that line like that. There we go. Now we're sorted. Ah, dear. I've made so many things, I've done so many things on this map that at the time seemed like the right thing to do, and now we're at the point we're at, I can look back and go, that was completely the wrong way to build this section, and it's just made a bit of a mess of our rail lines in certain places. Obviously, when you've played a challenge before, you have a degree of, you know, foresight as to what's coming up. You know what the challenges coming up are going to be, and you have a rough idea as to how you can go about coping with those and dealing with those. But when you're in a situation where you haven't really done any of that stuff before, then you can only approach it the way you think is best and see how it shakes out. And if it turns out that it doesn't shake out very well at all, well, at least, you know, for the next time when you try it again, if you try it again, you know that, you know, it could, you know, you've got a rough idea of what to do and what not to do. We're still in that case of, in that situation of trying to figure out what's the best way to approach things. And in some cases we've made the right decision, in others we've made very much the wrong decision. But we're living and learning, and we're getting through it as best we can. That wants to come off completely. There we go. Right, so let's multi-signal this section here. Why is the spacing wrong on those ones? Okay, let's go into single signal mode. Place them in manually. It's almost like these ones aren't connected up. Normally you'll get that snap when you get alongside a signal, but I'm not getting it on this line here for some reason. Very strange. Now Let's put in a supply tower as well. That's because the lines aren't parallel. They're not actually linked together for some reason. Why is that? They were a moment ago. Now all of a sudden they're not. They are over here. Yeah, let's drop a supply tower there. Let's take those signals out there. There we go. Right. Now that we have that line in, we need to connect our iron. This is going to be an expensive plan route. Very expensive plan route. We're not going to be able to build this line for a very long time. And this is only going to have, you know, just a single line to start with, and then we'll start to split in, you know, a few little passing loops in certain places. But I need to drag this all the way down here like this, and then at this point this is where we need to start bringing it in to our network over here. So ideally why doesn't that want to connect? Most odd. Actually, what about on the other side of our station? Because I double tracked it over there, didn't I? Yeah, okay, let's try that instead. Try bringing that in just here instead. That's going to want to go there, like that. Tighten that up a bit. Got a bridge, got a bit of a cut through here. See if we can raise it to lower the route down. It's very, very expensive at the moment. There's probably lots of bridges and lots of tunnels on this route at the moment. We're going to try and do our best to eliminate those. Really reduce the cost of this route right down to something that's much more manageable. See, already we've halved the cost. Look. If it means we have to cut gorges like that, it's cheaper than building bridges. That's suddenly rocketed back up again. Why has that gone back up again in price? Ah, because it's created tunnels along here, that's why. Okay. Just raise that back up a touch. Maybe raise that up just here. There we go. Definitely want to raise it up here if I can. So again, we're creating sections where in part of the track is being raised up, part of it's being lowered down. You've got to be careful where you place these markers. Just one errant marker can add 1 million onto the price of a line, just like that. Dropping these in, you kind of need to, when you're trying to balance out the level of a track a little bit, you need to be wary of placing in markers in specific points to raise the terrain in some places and lower it in other places, because otherwise you just, where you're lowering in one place, you're potentially raising somewhere else. And so while you're saving in that small section of track there, without a break point in the middle of that, your connection at the other end could suddenly become very, very different. That seems to be okay at the moment. These are kind of acceptable. I mean, we could possibly look at shrinking those down a bit, but again, you see immediately we start to, the money we save on the bridge, we start to lose by cutting into the hillside a bit. So sometimes not doing anything is just as effective. And we've got a long bridge here, so this I do kind of want to try and reduce a bit if I can. Let's see what happens if I there you see, look, we raised that up and actually increased the height of the price. The bridge got a little bit bigger somewhere, or a bridge got a little bit bigger somewhere further down the line. And we spent more on earthworks as well in places. So sometimes just doing nothing is a better option. It's a tough balancing act trying to find the right kind of pairing. Right, so there we go. We need 1.2 million to build this line, and that's without putting in passing loops. And that's a nice smooth straight line. Pretty much. No major massive bridges, no major, apart from this one here, which we can't really do anything about. No major tunnels, well, no tunnels at all. No unnecessary sort of winding around an obstacle like that and slaloming through a hillside. It's nice and direct, as the crow flies kind of route. We just have to save the money up for it now. So now that we know how much we need, we've just got to sit back and wait to earn it. I do want to plan out the line in terms of the train and start allocating staff to that. Probably won't let me because I haven't got a connection. Yeah, it's not going to let me. But what I can do is allocate my stoker. He's going to give me an extra 10% speed, so we'll stick him on that one.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, she's
Who's
slandering us in the
interested
press.
in what the tabloids say, right?
I've got a saboteur. Let's again sabotage Roger Smythe. Keep driving his price down a bit. How are we doing on chocolate? Up to 75 loads of chocolate. That's easily going to be done in time. Not too worried about that. Let's take a look at the company value. Yeah, he's definitely dropping down now. Has he sold off some of our shares? Possibly. We've got 80% owned. We should be okay. The real risk now is...
to have this, aren't I?
Oh, he's nicking technology. The real risk now is that when Roger Smythe is purchased and bought out, she makes a run for the rest of our company. We should get a substantial amount of value when we buy him out, not just in terms of his company and the factories and trains and stations and everything, but also, I'm hoping, because he owns 37% of our company, we should hopefully get that back.
Your mission,
I hope.
I'm sure. I demand
be nice.
revenge.
Right, let's run time forward a bit. We need 1.2 million.
Don't worry. Your
they're stealing my
employees
staff.
won't miss a thing with me. Promise.
He's still trying to buy up shares in my company. Fine, let him. He's not going to do much. Oh, reporter. Slow time down. I don't think he actually... see, the reporter only reduces passenger income. I don't think he's actually running passenger trains. Let me have a quick look. he running passenger trains? Nemo's sabotaged. Oh no, he is. Okay, excellent. So we'll slander him. Again, this should hopefully help drive his value down a little bit. Or at the very least, what it will do is stop him from gaining value while we're still trying to raise money to buy him out. So, you know, whether it reduces his value or delays his value going up, either way, it's a win for us. And a small $100,000, you know, payoff at this point to a reporter or a saboteur is a drop in the ocean compared to the value of the shares that, you know, or the volume of shares that we have to spend money on. That should be enough now to build the route. It is. So now I want to put in my passing loop in places. I know I can go over the bridge, but it just seems unnecessary. So we'll put a loop there. I'm going to have as many trains running on this as I can, but at the same time, I'm also very wary of the fact that it's an incredibly long route. So they're only going to really meet up with each other in very specific points. And I don't want to build an entire second line just for a small stretch. Well, just to cover, you know, a specific stretch of track. Not at this stage. Going forward, if we need to, we can expand. But for now, just having a few of these passing loops in here saves us an awful lot of money because it's a lot less track that's being doubled up. We're out of cash, so we can't build any more just yet, but I can make sure that the ones I've just built are signalled. Oops. Is there space in there? Oh yeah, space for 2 sets of signals. Excellent stuff. Next passing loop just here. Just the one blocker in the middle. Coming over here, put a stop, a directional, and a stop. That's just space for 1 in there, that's fine. Okay. We can start running trains now. So that train that we were creating, I'm going to find the one that I started now. Actually, the quickest way of doing that no, wait, because I didn't maybe if I click on the station, no, because I never actually completed the line.
I hope that this reporter was
There's me slandering him in the press.
Another lead balloon.
I've got to scroll through, find what I'd started. I need to buy Smith Mine, I think, at this point as well. Start expanding that. Here we go. Nola Mine going to Porto Segura. Okay, that's going in on the wrong line. It's coming in here and it's crossing over there. So I want that to be on these lines here. There we go. It's got to go in there because of the directional thing. As long as it gets onto that line there, goes through there, that's fine. Runs along these bottom lines here, all the way along there and into Porto Segura. Excellent stuff. And then it'll do that on the way back automatically. Save and exit. Let's add a Texas. It's my most powerful locomotive. I've got that 10% speed boost there. That's good. And I'm going to immediately clone that train. I need to make sure, because it's a hell of a long route as well, that I've got supply towers in places. Need to make sure that I have a repair shop just there as well.
Your trains don't run smoothly.
So where's that first passing loop, that really long one that we put in? Just there. There it is. Let's put a supply tower in just there on the way back. I'm going to need another passing loop over here. Make this a decent sized one. It's nice flat cleared ground. And gives me space for a signal supply tower. There we go. Excellent stuff. Plenty of space to pass in there, and I want to put in supply tower sort of in the middle of that. And there we go. We have 2 trains already up and running. Next time out, we'll look at getting some more up. We'll put another passing loop or 2 on this line. Look how long this line is. It's phenomenally long. Need to put lots of supply towers in certain places till we can figure out which ones are the ones that are being used, and then we can take the unnecessary ones out. We also need to get some coal running from Smith Mine over to our steel mill here in Porto Seguro as well. So still plenty to do to get the steel up and running. Then we need to make sure that we have wood going into our toy factory at Rio, as well as the steel, so that we can start making toys, and then we need to figure out where those toys are being shipped to as well. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more Railway Empire Crossing the Andes Coffee Barons very soon.